Fox Sports.
We are the Fourth. We are Florida.
On a Sunday in Miami, a series ends, a four-gamer. Miami got game one, and it's been the Phillies and good pitching that captured games 2 and 3. Marlins Park on a Sunday. High temperatures and high times for Juan Pierre. How about that? Marlins honoring Juan Pierre. D. Lee, Trader Jack in the house. Hi, everybody. Rich Waltz, along with Tommy Hutton. It's the Marlins and the Phillies. The Fish were hot. They'd won 7 of 10. They were scoring 7 runs a game. But, Tommy, the last 2, just 3 runs in those 2 games.
Yeah, all of a sudden the offense has cooled off a little bit. A tough loss last night. Sometimes it's better to come back quickly for a day game after you have a tough loss.
One guy who hasn't stopped hitting, Justin Bour, who's had a really nice series, doubled and walked 2 times yesterday.
We've really talked about and enjoyed watching the adjustments of Justin Bour. If you go back his last 10 games, he's hit some balls the other way. He's hit some balls the other way with power. A big home run in Milwaukee. He's gotten base hits up the middle. So Justin Bour has made adjustments. Part of that is because he's got an opportunity to be out there at first base and play on an everyday basis. We see the shift. We saw it last night. And I think he broke out the head-first slide for the first time, too.
Yeah, that's why you have Super Slow-Mo for moments like that. Prospect Day on the mound. Prospects for each club starting. Adam Conley for the Marlins. His challenge, get through that 4th or 5th inning.
His challenge, make the adjustments second time around for the hitters. Boy, we saw him in Milwaukee through the first 3 innings. He had 6 strikeouts. He's thrown the ball well, but he has to incorporate those secondary pitches, the curveball and the changeup.
Excited to see Aaron Nola pitch for the Phillies, their top pitching prospect.
Boy, just 22 years old, first-round pick out of LSU, big-time SEC school, so he knows how to pitch. The one thing that you hear about Aaron Nola for a young pitcher, you like to hear this, his pitching coach, Bob LeClure, told me yesterday, he gets it. He understands being at the major league level.
Marlins get their first look at Aaron Nola, and we honor Marlin legends, Juan Pierre, JP, and, of course, Dontrelle Willis on a Sunday in Miami.
family, all the Marlins fans that supported me, all my teammates and coaches. I had to rely on these guys a lot. All my other teammates over there, I got a couple in the dugout that I played with. I'm old and new school. But I want to thank you, thank the good Lord for giving me the ability to hit a baseball. Thank you for my wife supporting me, my family, my dad and my brother who first put the ball in my hand. They over there. The Marlins organization for even having this day. As y'all know, I'm not good at all this stuff. Got teammates over here in Phillies that they took care of me over there, the Philadelphia Phillies. I appreciate everybody, and just thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I'm going to try to throw this first pitch out here. My little boy probably could throw it harder than me, but thank you guys.
Had a nice moment there, Juan Pierre addressing the crowd. Let's go out to center field. Craig Minervini and Jeff Conine. Guys?
Absolutely. He says he's not great at that stuff. He's wrong. His humbleness, his great character comes through every time he talks.
He always puts a smile on your face. Every time I see JP,
Yeah.
man, you always want to smile at the guy because he's just got that nice positive energy, and he added a lot to that clubhouse.
Absolutely. For the Marlins, JP did a nice job, not only offensively, but defensively with that speed out in the outfield. And for the Marlins of late, the infield especially has been just incredible. They have had some issues with some errors in the outfield, but they've made some great plays too, like this one from Ichiro yesterday.
Yeah, last night down the line, a relay, gunning the runner at third base. Ichiro kind of threw it in there like an outfielder or an infielder. D. Gordon, we've seen him countless plays this year. If he's not in that final three for Gold Glove, there's something seriously wrong. Ichiro again, what, 24 years old? 41. Sorry about that. Looking like a 21-year-old. Martin Prado, a flash at some leather at third base. He's been steady over there as well. For the most part, Marlins defense this year has been one of the bright spots.
It's one of the best they've ever had statistically. In fact, second best through this point, 123 games in. All right, ready for the finale. Can the Marlins get a 2-2 tie out of this series? We'll find out next. It's Aaron Nola and Adam Conley, the pitching matchup on Fox Sports Florida.
Sports Florida is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. By Vico Painting Contractors. For top quality work and excellent customer satisfaction, visit VicoPainting.com. And by AutoNation. Save on over 70,000 vehicles now. Visit us online at AutoNation.com. You got the D-Train shirts. The Juan Pierre shirts on a day when the Marlins honor two of their finest. Here in Miami, the Phillies and the Fish. Here come the Phillies. Lineup brought to you by JM Lexus. Switch hitters abound. Hernandez in the leadoff spot. Andres Blanco, a 5-game hit streak. And certainly a big hit in yesterday's ball game. The RBI double in the 8th. Aaron Altair, Jeff Francoeur in the cleanup spot. Darren Rupp, Darnell Sweeney, Freddie Galvis at short. Cameron Rupp will do the catching. Aaron Nola, the rookie, hits 9th.
Well, speaking of Rupp, it was a smooth first 3 innings for Adam Conley in Milwaukee, but a rough departure. And see how he turns things around and makes adjustments today.
Pitch Penny brings you that first pitch. Conley facing Cesar Hernandez, Andres Blanco, and Aaron Altair coming up as well. 4 switch hitters in this Phillies lineup. There's that good Conley fastball diving down right at the knees for a strike. Hernandez active. Phillies have some young talent that they've stacked at the top of their lineup. That's been impressive in this series. Hernandez, one of those. Andres Blanco behind him. Odubel Herrera as well. Herrera is not in the lineup tonight.
As you watch Adam Conley and his delivery, a little different as compared to a Justin Nicolino. They have a little different approaches with their delivery. Fastballs are about the same, vary between about 88 and 92.
Kind of a hybrid windup. Conley starts with his foot sideways, doesn't really step into it. Kicks that right knee around. Gets a fly ball to right. Gillespie is there, and he makes the catch. Miami's defense today brought to you by BMW.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that defense. There's Derek Dietrich and Ozuna and Cole Gillespie in the outfield. Ichiro getting this Sunday afternoon off. Prado Echeverria, D. Gordon, Justin Bour around that infield. Jeff Mathis gets the start today.
Here is Andres Blanco. And he fouls it off. Blanco at third base. And it was Blanco's double in the 8th against Brian Morris that hurt the Fish. That tied the game. And the Phillies would take the lead on 2 solo homers in the 9th last night. Aaron Altair and Darren Rupp. D. Gordon on the spot gets the outs. You know, the good news when you talk about Adam Conley, Tommy, is that for stretches of the game, he has shown he can get big league hitters out. Now he's got to make the adjustment of figuring out second, third time through the order.
Yes, he does. And I think not to put any blame, there's no blame on the part of JT Realmuto. But we'll see how the veteran catcher Jeff Mathis handles the situation with Conley second time around.
Here is Altair.
Remember that start in Milwaukee, it was Tomas Telis who was behind the plate. And he was just trying to feel his way through the pitchers and the hitters.
Altair homered in that 9th, right before Ruff made it 4-2. A low fastball from A.J. Ramos, and it was a tough night for Ramos, who gave up both of those home runs.
The first time this year the Phillies had hit back-to-back home runs.
See that 385 second time through. They say lefties like low fastballs, righties do too.
Yeah, it's called down and in. You drop the head of the bat on it, and everything else seems to kind of supply the power.
Gordon, nice play to his left, and a good start for Adam Conley. Here come the Fish, brought to you by JM Lexus. D. Gordon leading hitter in the National League. Martin Prado, Derek Dietrich, Justin Boers on a nice run right now. Marcell Ozuna up in the 5 spot. Cole Gillespie back in there in right. Ichiro gets the afternoon off. And Danny Echeverria at short. Jeff Mathis will do the catching. Adam Conley slotted 9th.
It's our first look at the 22-year-old Aaron Nola, first-round pick of the Phillies out of LSU. Older brother Austin in the Marlins organization, playing in AAA right now.
D. Gordon checks in at 336. Still the top hitter in the National League, though Paul Goldschmidt gained some ground. He starts at 331. Nola gets 2 quick strikes.
Goldschmidt with a 4-for-4 night. Yeah, he was an SEC ace for the LSU Tigers. Natural sink to his fastball. Very athletic out there on the mound. He was the SEC Pitcher of the Year his sophomore and junior years.
It's the only time in SEC history they've had a guy that has repeated. Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Wasn't sure who it was, but it could have been D. Gordon. You heard somebody yell heads up on that.
It was Gordon, because he knew exactly where that ball was going when it left the bat. Up into those seats behind the dugout. Nola trying to get that back door. And the count 1-2.
Get an idea of his stuff. That was a curveball he tried to come in the back door with.
Gordon hits that one well. Sweeney after it. And Darnell Sweeney, the local kid, runs it down on the warning track. That's the second time that Gordon's hit a ball all the way to the track and center, and both have been outs in this series.
Yeah, third time up last night. Hit one to deep center field. If he finds the gap, it's a triple. But Sweeney ran it down.
Martin Prado up in the 2 spot. Prado has been occupying the 3 spot in the order with success. He doubled last night, 1 for 3. Marlins are hopeful that Christian Yelich is back soon. He's eligible to come off on Tuesday. He was throwing today. He's been hitting almost the entire time, just waiting for the pain in a deep bruise to come down.
I liked his throwing partner.
That's right, Giancarlo Stanton and Yelich. Nice throwing session for today's ball game. 0-2 to Prado. Nola just 22. Did it get him or did it get the bat? I think it got the bat.
Remember last night, Luis Garcia up and in to Martin Prado. He came back with a slider, but eventually Prado doubled up that third baseline.
Breaking ball. Prado drills it into center field. That's a hit. Sweeney picks it up. And the Marlins have a base runner with 1 out.
Martin Prado is such a smart hitter. He thought, okay, up and in, got the foul ball. He had a good chance he's going to see a breaking ball. And he saw it. It wasn't a real good one by Nola. And Prado was all over it. There it is, a little slider. And there's the line drive.
Derek Dietrich hitting 3rd. Couple hits in this series, including a home run. And he's driven in 4. And he darn near had his first big league grand slam in last night's ball game. That was in the 3rd inning. Bags were loaded, 2 out, and Dietrich blasted it near the top of the wall in right center field.
12 of his 20 RBIs this month.
Bouncer out there, and that's it. Galvis cutting across the bag to get Prado. Dietrich remains at first, and the defense for the Phillies rolls out, and it's brought to you by BMW.
A lot of first names as we get to the defense. Aaron Altair, Darnell Sweeney, Jeff Francoeur, you know him, Andres Blanco, Freddie Galvis, Cesar Hernandez, Darren Rupp, and Cameron Rupp.
Yes, Rupp and Rupp.
Certainly a different Philly look that we've seen over the years.
Yeah, and even the remnants of those great Philly teams not in there today. No Ruiz, no Ryan Howard. But Nola is a guy that they've waited for and hoped would arrive on the scene, and he did quickly.
Yeah, he did. Only 29 career starts in the minor leagues before his arrival.
18 of those were this year. Double-A, 7-3, a 1.88 ERA, 6 in Triple-A, 3.5 the ERA, a 3-1 record. This is a guy the Phillies hope to have in the rotation for a long time, and as the Phillies rebuild and try to retool, they're looking for frontline starters, guys that they can run out there against the other frontline guys in this division. You think about what the Mets have been able to accomplish with their young rotation. DeGrom, Harvey, Syndergaard, an injured Wheeler. The Marlins, their entire rotation, it feels like, has been injured all year long. Alvarez, Fernandez. Runner goes, pitches a strike, and the throw is in time. He's out at second base. Derek Dietrich trying to swipe a bag. He's thrown out by Cameron Rupp. And the Marlins' first inning comes to an abrupt ending at second. Welcome back to Miami. Hope you're enjoying your Sunday. Glad you're spending part of it with us. Rich Waltz, Tommy Hutton, Craig Minervini, and Jeff Rancour, special correspondent in the batter's box right now. Darren Ruff, Darnell Sweeney against the lefty Adam Conley. Good changeup, bounce to short. Echeverria gets it to the bag, and there's one out, and Adam Conley has retired all 4 that he has faced, and this is starting to shape up in a very similar fashion to his last start, Tommy, where he first 3 innings was really good against the Brewers.
I would say the one difference, he's not piling up the strikeouts with a lot of fastballs. He got that out on Frank Coeur with a good changeup.
Now Ruff. There are some hitters in this lineup who are really good against lefties, and Ruff is one of those. 373 average, 552 slugging, 3 homers on the year. I like Ted Barrett's strike call, kind of guttural, draws it out. We got Juan Pierre coming up to the booth in the 3rd. There's Barrett.
See foul balls like that on the fastball, just tells you that Adam Conley has planted that changeup and that breaking ball seed a little bit. They can't just sit back and jump on the heat.
Liner to left, Dietrich back, and he reaches up and makes the catch. Steadies himself against the wall in front of a couple of displeased Phillies fans.
Introduces himself to the patrons and the Clevelander too. This was a changeup, got it up a little bit, not up and out over the plate, and Ruff has power, we know that, but nicely done. Good concentration by Dietrich.
Darnell Sweeney. What a moment for him last night. American heritage. His high school, a local kid whom the Marlins drafted out of high school, though he didn't sign. He would go on to play in college. And he takes away a dynamic player, Tommy. This is a guy that was involved in the Chase Utley deal, so he's new to the Phillies. But he was having a dynamite year in the Pacific Coast League. Sweeney was an all-star at second base for the AAA All-Star game. He led the Coast League in stolen bases with 32, had 30 doubles, and he walks. He is a threat to run as well. Hashtag your photo FL Data Strong fan, and you might see yourself in an upcoming telecast. And it's brought to you by T-Mobile. Who knows, maybe a selfie today in the stands with Craig Minervini or Jeff Conine or Jeff's pal Tutti Frutti, the balloon bending clown, who I'm sure is hard at work right now making lots of fun balloon animals for the kids.
Maybe you and I could get a selfie up here with Juan Pierre when he joins us.
I would enjoy that. Freddie Galvis, the last of the switch hitters. Sweeney was the third to hit already, and now Galvis the fourth.
It's always a little tougher to set up your bullpen for the later innings when you have so many switch hitters.
See Mike Goff to the left of Dan Jennings, Miami's bench coach.
And DJ told you and I before the game that he felt everybody was good to go in the bullpen today. Might be one or two that he would like to stay away from.
Sweeney, we talked about his base stealing. He swiped 48 bags a couple seasons ago in high A for the Dodgers. 15 stolen bases last year in Chattanooga. Galvis runs up, takes outside.
Hi everybody, enjoy Domingo Familiares con los Marlins.
He's always so upbeat, isn't he?
He is. I don't know that Tootie has ever had a bad day, Tommy. Way to go.
Vamos a estar en la 18.
It's a 2-1. Swing and a miss. Galvis misses.
What do you think, Rich? Do you think I could get Tootie maybe to come to my granddaughter's one-year birthday party? You think?
Monkeys, penguins, all animals, balloon, all.
A lot of balloon animals.
Yeah, maybe you can get one of those penguins. I don't know. You're going to have to clear that with the wife. That one line into left center field. It's going to fall for a hit. Sweeney, a good read, is already at third base. And the Phils at the corners for catcher Cameron Rupp. Freddie Galvis dumping one into left center.
Yeah, the interesting part about that for Sweeney wasn't the read that it was going to drop because they're two out, but the read that it was going to drop far enough ahead of the center fielder, Marcell Ozuna, that he knew he could get to third base. And we also saw a little bit of that speed from Darnell Sweeney.
Now Rupp, and he's another guy that fares better against lefties than righties. Big catcher, a couple homers against lefties, and a .333 average.
He's getting a lot of opportunities. 53 games, 52 starts. Right now, we're up on a 6-game hitting streak.
He's Greg Luzinski-like, 6'2", 260.
The Bull. One of Philadelphia's favorites.
And then you've got Ruff, who's 6'3", 250. Marlins could counter with Giancarlo Stanton and Justin Bour. Push came to shove.
Boy, there's a great pitch right there. 2-0 the count. But Conley didn't go with the fastball. Threw a 2-0 changeup, and you saw a little flinch from Rupp. He just couldn't react to it.
Two-one, little dribbler up the line, and it bends foul.
Came back with another changeup.
Two and two. Adam Conley here in the second. Got the first two outs. Walked Sweeney. Galvis a single. 2-2 to Rupp. Runner goes. Ball in the dirt. Mathis has to block it. And Galvis gets a stolen base.
Now you have an opportunity with the count 3-2. First base open. And the pitcher on deck, so you can just try to make a perfect pitch, and if you miss, you go after Nola.
What would your perfect pitch be?
He's thrown a lot of good changeups, but he may try to put him away with a fastball. Changeup,
and a nice one, and he gets him and gets out of the inning. Scoreless ball game. It's about to get a lot more fun. Juan Pierre coming to the booth. Not you, clown. Scoreless ball game, bottom 2. Marlins and Phillies. Pirates are here tomorrow. And of course, the Pirates are red hot right now, trying to chase down the Cardinals in the Central. All you can eat seats. And if you're military, first responders, a veteran, with your ID, you'll get complimentary tickets on South Florida Heroes Monday, presented by Outback. Go to Marlins.com for details.
Yeah, you're right about the Pirates, Rich. 8 out of 10 they've won. McCutchen and company will be in the house.
We are just 3 outs away from a nice, fun inning with Juan Pierre. Here is Justin Bour. Marcell Ozuna, Cole Gillespie will follow. Aaron Nola zips in a fastball that misses out. Bour lifts that one high, but not very deep. Francoeur, a few steps over, makes the catch.
We saw some good changeups from Adam Conley. That was a pretty good one from Nolan. And Justin Bour just a little bit out ahead.
He's an interesting looking pitcher in that he's not huge. 6'1", 200 pounds.
Kind of lanky, though. He looks a little taller than that.
Yes.
Before he went on to LSU, he was drafted out of high school, 22nd round by Toronto.
His brother Austin, shortstop at LSU, a teammate briefly, 3 years older than Aaron. And Austin drafted by the Marlins and is in AAA right now at shortstop.
He has said his older brother a big influence on his career.
He's 1-2 on Ozuna, who homered early in the series. And Ted Barrett rings him up for a strikeout for the 22-year-old Aaron Nola.
Boy, he just painted some corners, kind of slings that fastball in just a perfect spot, down and away.
Cole Gillespie now, who did not start last night after bruising that wrist 2 nights ago.
Just banged up a little bit. Good to see Cole back in there. He's been swinging the bat so well, he didn't want to take any time off.
Good breaking ball. And it's 0-2. Nola works quickly. Command is one of the big components on his scouting report. Gillespie rolls it up the middle. Galvis sweeps it up and gets the out. Bring on JP. This should be fun. it immediately brings a smile to your face. One of our most favorite Marlins is with us. Juan Pierre, how are you? Congratulations on getting a nice day today.
Thank you, thank you. You know, as you know me, I don't think I deserve a day or need a day, but it's good for the family to enjoy it. So it's I still can't believe it, man. I'll just go out here and do my thing, and to have a day at a big league park is crazy to me.
14 years in the big leagues, over 2,200 hits, over 600 stolen bases. Just an incredible ride for a guy that grew up. I know you were. I mean, you were kind of like D. Gordon in high school, right? You were a basketball guy.
Yeah, I really enjoy basketball. Everybody back home still remember me playing basketball and not much baseball, because you know, baseball in high school, there's no cheerleaders out there, no pep rallies. You and the guys out there playing baseball. So wasn't a lot of fanfare in baseball in high school.
0-2 from Conley, and Nola pushes it foul.
See, I say JP. I don't think I've ever called you Juan, so that's why if JP, you see that and you react that way. As a Marlin, you look at all the numbers which Rich talked about, but the thing that stands out to me, you never missed a game as a Marlin. You played all 162 all 3 years.
Yes, that's what I took the most pride in, going out there battling with the guys. And the contract says 162. That's what I used to always say. And that was in pro player back then, where the heat, see, it's nice and comfortable.
Oh, this is nice.
Yeah. But it would have been sweating with sweat rags up here. We're at old Sun Life now. But that's something I took pride in. And I think 04 I played every inning. I remember Jack making the lineup out. We were in Philly the last game of the year, and he had me not playing. I was like, well, we're going to have 4 outfielders out there today. We're going to have to forfeit the game, because I'll be in there the last day, too.
You know, spring training, we have a dinner every year where we sit down with the leadership of the Marlins baseball operations, and we had a chance to talk to Mike Hill, Marlins president of baseball operations, and D. Gordon's situation came up. And Michael said that when he was with the Colorado Rockies and then came over here to work for the Marlins, he had the same situation happen, where he had a player that he really wanted to get on his team, and he knew that other team might not value him as much as he did. And he was talking about you, because you were with the Rockies before you joined the Marlins. So was Michael Hill. And he said it just eerily similar to him, the way he pursued D. Gordon, just like he pursued you.
Yeah, it's crazy, because I was, in Colorado for the humidor, so, Larry Walker Helton hitting 40, 50 home runs and stuff. And I'm getting one maybe, a year, and a big outfield and stuff. And, you didn't want to run in the outs over there. But, Mike Hill, he saw something in me. He was the first one to really call me up. He's a minor league coordinator over there, too. They moved me back to center field. So, and same situation. And he's probably doing what I did the first year outside of the winning. Similar type numbers are coming over here. I mean, he's hitting higher than me, that's for sure, and he's running and stuff. But similar situation where here in South Florida, that was the first time where I saw people wearing my T-shirts. People really like JP. And thank you, Tommy Hutton. I had never been called JP until I came here, and I told my mom, I'm like, everybody call me JP. And she watches back there in Louisiana. She said, oh, the commentator, that's all he calls you is JP. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. You know what I mean? Everybody called me Juan until I got here, so now I'm JP. So thank you, Mr.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's good.
You're welcome.
It's good. So, but yeah, I had fun coming over here playing with the guys. And Jack McKeon loved base running, base stealing. Me and Louie worked so well together, and got us a World Series, man. So had a lot of fun here, being able to the running game being valued here.
Well, the running game certainly was a hallmark of your career, a real spark for that World Championship team in 2003. You stole 65 bases that year, and that would be your career high. Oh, excuse me. You had 68 with the White Sox. To left, Dietrich in trouble, won't get it. It bangs off the wall. He played it nicely, though, and a double off the left field wall, Andres Blanco. And these two hitters, Tommy, atop the Phillies lineup, people don't know their names, but they're having nice seasons.
I tell you what, Rich, we're learning the names of some of these guys with the Phillies that have impressed in this series. And you're right, the top two guys, Hernandez and Blanco, have done a terrific job.
Dietrich's doing a good job out there.
He's learning. He's learning.
Yeah. If it's a guy that never played out there at all, He's moving around well out there, I believe. And he plays hard, man. Anytime a guy plays hard, I know teammates respect that. Even if you do have miscues and stuff, they know you're going out there working, doing batting practice, getting your work in. You can live with that.
We talk about the 0-3 season. At what point, when Jack took over, did it click with you? Did it click with the team that, hey, we got something going here?
From day one, when Jack came in and laid it in law, we were young. We had a young pitching staff and kind of doing their own thing. And Jack came down and laid down the hammer. He was like, none of that. I think he locked the clubhouse a couple games where you couldn't even go in. You had to ask for permission to go to the bathroom, So just that old school feel. We already knew we had the talent. We looked around the clubhouse like, why are we 10 games under? But he just came in and just got in our butts a little bit. And I think guys, Zuna's going to test Zuna's arm right here.
Yeah, he's lined it up, and the throw is high and all the way to the screen. The run scores, and moving to third is Blanco. You're right, JP. You could see Ozuna from the very start. He got his momentum, and he was going to try to throw it to home plate regardless.
Regardless, yeah. Ozuna has a great arm, man. One of the best arms I played with. And when you have great arms like that, you believe you can throw everybody out. And I'm glad to see him back up here doing well, man. I think he went down there and got his head right, and he's come back and been playing well. I like him a lot, man. He plays with a lot of energy, man, and sometimes that energy gets him in trouble because he cares not too much, but too much. But it's glad to see him back up here.
Sometimes that big arm can get an outfielder in trouble, too, can't it?
Without a doubt. That's why I tell guys, when you got good arms, when you had such a bad arm like I had, you were taught to hit the cut.
I wasn't going to say that.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Facts are facts. Sometimes the truth hurts, God didn't bless me with a great arm, but he blessed me with legs. But I always tell guys when I talk to alphas, like, you got to hit the cutoff, man. You always try to throw through the cutoff guy. And, and when you have good arms like that, guys don't test you, so you don't have to throw the ball as much. With me, I always had to throw the ball because everybody was trying to run on me. But when you hit the cutoff, man, you give us a chance to keep the double play in order. You keep the inning at bay. But when you overthrow guys, that's when you get in trouble.
And you ended up, for a lot of your career, playing in big outfields. So Colorado to begin with, Joe Robbie Stadium. Dodger Stadium's not a small ballpark by any means. Probably the smallest parks that you played in were in Chicago with the White Sox and then Philly.
Yeah, exactly. So you learn to use your infielders. I had here Louis and Alex had great arms. I used them. All the shortstops and second baseman, I would tell them, man, hey, you got to come out there a little bit. And you always taught in the outfield, once the ball get out your hands, you can't be blamed for anything. So I used to get to the ball quick, hit my cutoff man, and that was it. Busted back.
Francoeur, Echeverria to first. The Phillies get a run, a 1-0 lead. JP, thanks for stopping by.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. I can see how y'all see the game up
Great
here.
to
It's
see.
been nice. First time ever up here.
Yeah. All right. Well,
all right.
Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
your day. Here's that first pitch. Oh, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
1-0 Phillies on top, bottom 3. To D-Train and Juan Pierre. Our flashback. There he goes. This is our Geico moment. That was a big one. 600th stolen base of his career. And that was in a 7-2 loss at Philly. 614th, 18th all-time stolen bases in a 14-year career. Echeverria trying to make like Juan Pierre, dropping a bunt down, but that one pops up and hits him in foul territory.
We talked about he had that 3-year period as a Marlin, JP, where he played every game. He then went on the next 2 years he played every game. So he had 5 years in a row where he played 162 games. Not to mention some postseason as well.
That's true. Postseason with the Marlins in 2003, the Dodgers in 08 and 09. His career postseason batting average 304. Galvis, I think, is an underappreciated shortstop, don't you? I mean, we talk so much about Echeverria, rightfully so, Andrelton Simmons, Brandon Crawford in San Francisco. You watch Galvis play over the course, we get to see him, what, 18, 19 games?
Yeah, I think, we always heard that when Jimmy Rollins was playing every day, that Freddie Galvis would be the next. And now that we've gotten a chance to see him, he's been very steady.
Jeff Mathis takes in Aaron Nola has a 1-0 lead. A Martin Prado single has been it for the Marlins. Mathis a sharp grounder. Blanco across the diamond. And there are 2 outs. Juan Pierre in 2003 and 2004 actually got some MVP votes. Just looking at his page on baseballreference.com,
which is our go-to page all the time.
94 career triples.
I love what he said, and it's so true about outfielders that don't have great arms or outfielders that are learning, such as a Derek Dietrich. Just get it back to that infielder as quick as you can. Get it back into the shortstop or the second baseman, whoever might be the cutoff man.
Conley swings and misses. You hope that some team, maybe the Marlins, are able to keep Juan Pierre in the game as an instructor, a coach. Swing and a miss. Aaron Nola, 1-2-3 in the third. He has set down 7 in a row. Phillies are up on this Sunday, 1-0. Good to see Jack McKeon in the ballpark here to honor Juan Pierre and Dontrelle Willis. We saw Derek Lee, some of the other teammates. Marlins Live pregame is tomorrow. The Bucks stop here. Pittsburgh comes rolling in with a lot of momentum and a lot of talent. Craig Minervini and Jeff Conine get you ready. 6:30 start. Darren Ruff.
I know it's one of the areas, Rich, that certainly the Marlins keep track of and they'll keep their eye on. Adam Conley threw 107 innings this year in AAA. Closing in on 25 innings up here. And remember, it was last year in May and June 2014. He only threw 65 innings. He had some elbow tendonitis. So there are a lot of young pitchers that the Marlins are keeping their eye on as the final weeks wind down.
A little bit of a tricep strain as well, which cut his time down last year. Well, the Marlins are certainly hopeful that they'll have a couple of different arms in the rotation here in the weeks to come. Jerry Cozart has started pitching in rehab games. That one cracked to left and down the line, and it nestles in a fair ball. Dietrich retrieves, and Darren Ruff got out in front. Conley, since a 1-2-3 first, seemingly has been in trouble since. He pitched out of it in the second. He gave up a run in the third.
Well, remember last night for Justin Nicolino, he went 8 innings and did not allow the leadoff man to get on base. Last couple of innings now, the Phillies have gotten that leadoff man on base.
Here now is Sweeney, and certainly he'll be thinking about trying to move the runner from second to third. Conley knows that, so he crowds him with a fastball.
Sounds like too that hopefully we'll get a chance to see Jose Fernandez a few times in September.
Yeah, those are the two guys that Miami hopes come walking through the door ready to go soon. Jose still in his throwing program on flat ground, whereas we noted Cozart has been successful in a minor league rehab start and will continue that progression. Darnell Sweeney, 24-year-old, born in Hollywood, makes his offseason home in Miramar.
This has been a great trip for him, I'm sure.
Well, he talked about that home run and just having his friends and his family here. Sweeney last night a pinch hit homer in the 8th that got the Phillies started. That was against Justin Nicolino, and it was a blast.
Yeah, it's one thing to do it in your hometown in front of friends and family, but it's another thing to have it be your first hit and your first home run.
Watch where this thing lands.
Like a cutter that didn't get all the way in.
Ball 4 is low, and Adam Conley is going to have to pitch in trouble again here in the 4th. Yeah, Sweeney's homer well past that, off that green wall leading up Jeff Conine's stairway to heaven.
So 3rd walk of the game for Adam Conley, 2nd time that he's walked Darnell Sweeney.
Freddie Galvis. Fouls it off. Interesting part of the lineup for Pete McCannon to try to figure out how to manipulate this inning, because Galvis is in the 7 spot. You've got Rupp and then Nola.
Yeah, if you had Galvis, this was a different part of the order. He would probably be bunting, but the fact that you have Rupp and then the pitcher, it makes for a little different situation.
There's that foot that starts almost out of the box. And we saw last night that in a ball and a pitch that Galvis singled on, he gets that foot back around, and importantly, you talk to any hitting coach, down. He gets the foot down.
And that's all about timing. With the way he has his foot, you see some who might not have it that far away, but they'll lift it, and it's all about the timing and getting it down at the right time.
Bouncer to Echeverria, might be 2. Gordon's turn is not in time. Galvis just beat it. Probably one too many hops out to short with the speed of Galvis.
Well, the Marlins tried everything just right, and Echeverria came and got it. Strong chest high, and then D. Gordon, he gets up, ended a little bit by the slide. He gets off a strong throw, but just not in time. It looks like he beat it. Terrific effort, though, by that middle infield.
So with 1 out, here is Cameron Rupp.
Saw the infield meet at the mound. Try to determine maybe what to do if Galvis should take off from first base.
Well, he did take off back in the 2nd and swiped second. 1-0 to Rupp. Galvis at first base. Not much speed at third in Darren Ruff.
That's one thing you have to take into consideration.
Conley tries the changeup. He got him on a good changeup. There's Tapper back to the mound. Aaron Nola, the pitcher, waits. And the Marlins are going to intentionally load the bases after falling behind Rupp. So now Conley needs a ground ball or maybe a strikeout and just get through Nola. Bags loaded, 1 out.
He was able to strike out Nola in the 3rd inning. Aaron Nola with 2 hits, 2 career hits.
Infield looking for a ground ball.
And you wouldn't look for a squeeze here. They don't want to run themselves out of an inning, and not a whole lot of speed at third base.
Good breaking ball for a strike.
Remember the other night, Rupp was intentionally walked, and Jared Eichhoff got a 2-run single. His first major league hit and RBIs.
Regardless of what happens in this inning for Conley, His pitch count has rocketed to 75.
Yeah, he's had to work each of the last 3 innings after a 1-2-3 first.
And he gets him. So, part 1, strike out the pitcher. Part 2, get Cesar Hernandez and strand the runners. And Hernandez, not an easy out, is flied out, walked, and scored. One of the impressive things about the young hitters atop the Phillies lineup, they get on base, which is a great sign. A 347 on base for Hernandez. Blanco 371. Conley turns it over. That's that changeup, Tommy, that he holds between his pinky and his ring finger, and it acts, 15, 20 years ago, you would call it a screwball.
More of a screwball. It's off speed. Great location. I think he's had a better changeup today than in Milwaukee, but his fastball hasn't been as consistent.
0-2 on the Phillies leadoff man, Cesar Hernandez. Came in with the fastball, that whipping arm motion. It's 0-2. Another 0-2. Went with the changeup. Base is filled with Phillies.
You can really see, Rich, when you get to this level and you hear the term swing and miss stuff. If you don't have swing and miss stuff, a lot of good hitters will just keep fouling off good pitches and make you work and get your pitch count to 80, and you're in the 4th inning.
Throwing a bunch of good changeups here. You know you've got a good changeup when you double and triple up and a guy still doesn't put it in play. Now he's got to find a way to finish off Hernandez. But the bag's loaded and 2 outs.
Good fastball there, 95, and Hernandez still was able to fight it off. So he's given Adam Conley a tremendous battle.
Visit from Jeff Mathis.
That's just kind of a go on out there and give you a little rest, give you a little breather between all those pitches.
Ryan Howard on the rail. Not a bad opportunity at 0-2 to shuffle someone's feet.
Shuffle him with the fastball in, see if he doubles up fastball or if he goes away now with the changeup.
Got him. Changeup. Conley turns it over, and Hernandez swung right through it. brought to you by your local Chevy dealers. Visit your South Florida Chevy dealers today. And by Checkers, Epic Meals, Epic Deal. Marlins honoring Juan Pierre, our buddy Joseph Gormley there. Another sweet-looking painting. JP will always have a home here. He makes his home in Parkland. And I suspect, Tommy, that come spring training next year, I bet you see Juan Pierre in a Marlins uniform helping out the guy at the plate, D. Gordon.
Yeah, I just have the feeling that you're going to see a little bit more of instruction from Juan Pierre. And, boy, a guy who will really benefit is this man right here, D. Gordon. Thought it was interesting after that chopper that we're talking about Aaron Nola drafted in the first round. He was the 7th player picked. One of the players picked before Aaron Nolan was Nick Gordon, Dee's brother, by the Minnesota Twins.
Marlins took Tyler Kolek, the big sturdy right-hander who is down in single A right now. He was a high school player.
Carlos Rondon picked ahead of Nola. Kyle Schwarber, the left-handed bat that's been helping out the Cubs.
Martin Prado, single back in the first, was a breaking ball that Nola threw.
Got that big curveball. Keep going back to something Nola's pitching coach, Bob McClure, was talking about yesterday about his 22-year-old right-hander. And when you hear a veteran pitching coach, a guy who's been around, it's another nice play by Galvis. When you hear them say he gets it, that means he knows what the whole process being at the major league level is about.
Tuesday night, Half Price Tuesday with the Miami Herald. Of course, the Pirates are here. 7:10 start. Half price Lexus Legends Platinum tickets or other discounts on tickets in several other categories. Marlins.com, the place to go for tickets. And the Bucks are rolling. Pittsburgh tonight plays the Giants. That's the Sunday night game. San Francisco in Pittsburgh.
They will have an early morning arrival here in Miami.
A former Pirate, Brian Vogelsong, goes for the Giants. Francisco Liriano for Pittsburgh. Here is Dietrich. Mets are in Colorado. That game starts 4:10 Eastern time. The Nationals are home but trailing 2-1 to Milwaukee. That's top third. Dodgers in Houston. Houston's taken the first two impressively. 1-0. Dodgers on top of the Astros, bottom first. And the other hot team we talked about on Marlins Live pregame, the Cubs are at home and just about to start against Atlanta. Cubs now have 70 wins. Both the Cubs and Pittsburgh have had really nice 2-week stretches, to the point now where the Mets actually have a bigger division lead than the Cardinals. Amazing.
Who would have thought?
Mets lead is 5 starting play. Dietrich walks. And the Cardinal lead is at 3.5 going into play today. Let's check in with Craig Minervini. Craig.
All right, Rich, thank you very much. Justin Bohr got a new supply of arm sleeves in the other day, the one that he wears on the right arm, as you see. And just about that time, Lenny Harris was walking by Justin's locker and said, hey, those look pretty nice. He said, pick out one. And all of a sudden, Lenny Harris told me he always wore 2 sleeves. They didn't wear 1 sleeve in his days. He's wearing the sleeves now, and the offense, although the last couple of games a little quiet, has been picked up. So maybe Lenny will wave that right arm around on this at bat. One other note on Bohr. Lenny told Justin after the game, my bad for sending him the other day. Remember on the Ozuna double in the 4th inning. But Lenny said, look, we were down 4-0. I was looking for a spark, hoping for maybe a high throw, bad throw, but they made a good play to get him. And sometimes that happens, but it's the first time, he said, he got a man caught at the plate.
Bohr hits that one high and deep. Sweeney makes the catch. Miami strands Derek Dietrich. Craig, thanks for that. 1-0 Phillies. Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Did you know, Tommy Hutt, that the only jersey color the Marlins are at 500 or above on are the red-orange?
Might think about breaking them out a little more.
Or maybe going with the sweet blue ones that you see every now and then, just to shake it up. There's a strike. Marlins have not been a good home team lately. They've dropped 9 of their last 13 at home. Andres Blanco, Aaron Altair, Jeff Francoeur. If ever Adam Conley needed a quick inning, this is it. His pitch count is up. Pitching here in the 5th. 87th pitch coming. Echeverria. People talk about stressful innings. He's had a stressful inning. In the 4 that he's pitched, 3 of his 4 have been filled with stress.
Yes, he has, and retired there a hot hitter in this series. Blanco has 4 doubles in this series, so he could change up. He got him for the ground ball out.
He gets the heart of the order with Altair and then Jeff Francoeur. And he gets an out on just the 1 pitch to Altair. 2 outs. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Miami Marlins may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of the game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Miami Marlins. That's the legal portion of the telecast. Francoeur likes to swing at that first pitch.
Well, he likes to swing the bat against the Marlins over the years. A career average over 300. 16 career home runs against the Marlins, the most against any team. And a couple of big ones this year.
One and 2. Francoeur poking at that changeup. Way to go. Got him. High fastball. Nicely done by Conley, who came out, and in just 9 pitches, he rips right through the 5th inning.
Welcome back, everybody, to Marlins Park. It is great to see D. Lee, because we haven't seen him in a while, and we're really feeling old because you've been retired for 4 years somehow.
I mean, when you just asked me that question and I say 4 years, it's hard to believe myself.
What about, first of all, your great teammate Juan Pierre being honored along with Dontrelle Willis today, and you guys were such a nucleus for, and you were here for some of the lean years too.
Yeah.
Juan came a little bit later.
Yes, but perfect combination to be honored. You know, Juan Pierre and Dontrelle Willis, 2 of the, most energetic, joyful teammates I've ever had. They came to the park every day with that swagger and energy and smile on their face, and it was really infectious in the clubhouse. And, they kind of set the tone for that team that year.
You had a great major league career, 331 homers, over 1,000 RBIs. You hit 281. You had more years actually in Chicago than you did in Miami. But that 2003 World Championship is going to be on the top of the list, I guess.
Oh, no question about it. Celebrating out on Yankee Stadium with that group of guys who, like you said, we had some tough years together. And to turn it around together and get it done was definitely a special moment.
Coming to Marlins Park today, it's a Sunday afternoon. Did you at all think, well, I remember those Sunday afternoons as a Marlin? And it wasn't like this.
When I woke up this morning, I was thinking, I'm glad I'm not going to get ready for it again. But what a beautiful place. This place is first class. They did a great job, and it's good to be here.
Absolutely, and to play indoors is neat for the Marlins. What did Juan tell you about this day? Because he really is flattered.
Yeah, I was trying to sneak in on Juan, so I didn't really talk to him much. But I guess the cat got out of the bag, and he texted me a couple days ago. But, Juan Pierre is one of those teammates, I'd fly to Europe for. He was one of my best teammates and one of my good friends, so I'm glad to be here for him.
Derek, what's going on in your life these days? I know I just saw you had a nice baby, so you're up to 4 children. Your wife looks great. How's the family life?
Man, we're working on the starting 5. We just had number 4, so it's great being able to be home with those guys. I keep busy with a couple different things, not baseball oriented, but they're definitely keeping me busy.
It's great to see you. One of the real class guys we've ever had a chance to watch, and enjoyed talking to too. Thanks, Steve.
Good to see you, Craig.
All right, Derek Lee, guys, back to you.
Great guy and an incredible player.
I remember when the Marlins acquired Derek Lee, a good friend of mine, longtime major leaguer, a major league manager a little bit, Jerry Royster, had managed Derek Lee coming up in the Padres organization. And he said, This guy's the best right-handed first baseman you're ever going to see. And he was right on the money.
Danny Echeverria drops a bunt down third base side. Is it going to roll? And it stays fair. Could not have rolled it down with his hand any better. A bunt single for Danny Echeverria.
It's a beautiful feeling for any hitter, because you're actually at first base when you can turn around and look and see that you have yourself a bunt single. Great execution. I know it's something that Etch has worked on with Brett Butler a lot. And that ball just going to stay fair, not going foul.
Jeff Mathis now with 2 outs. Well, Derek Lee would prove Jerry Royster right with the 3 Gold Gloves he won. Probably could have won a few more. An All-Star twice. Had some mammoth years.
How about the 1 year Derek Lee had with the Cubs?
And 2005. 46 homers, 50 doubles, won a batting title. He slugged a ridiculous .660. His OPS that year, best in baseball, 1.080. I found it interesting off camera when Juan Pierre came into the booth and we actually started talking about Lee, and Pierre said something. He said, you know, he came a little early. If he'd just been about 10 years later, the sabermetrics folks would love Derek Lee.
That's a great point, Dave. Yeah, you're absolutely right. He was even a little bit before the OPS stuff.
Yeah, his career slugging was .495. His career OPS was .859. Conley is on deck. Mathis swings. That's 1-2. Obviously, if Mathis reaches, Conley would not hit. But if Mathis doesn't, it will be interesting to see if indeed Conley does pitch the top of the 6th. He's at 93 pitches. You see some hopeful hitters. Ichiro, helmet, bat, gloves on. Casey McGee, gloves on with the bat. Phillies run in the 3rd, and that's it. Miami has just 2 hits. Phillies have 3. The Marlins, in their previous 5 going into Friday night, were scoring 7.5 runs a game, hitting .317. Since then, next 2.5 games, 3 runs and just 13 hits. Echeverria's back in, called safe. Ruff glares into the Phillies dugout and says, hey, take a peek at that. Larry Boa manning the phone.
I think he got there, but it was close.
No challenge. How'd you like to call customer service and get Larry Boa? My iPhone's not working. Yeah, what do you want me to do about it?
I'll tell you what to do with that iPhone.
He figures it'd go on over there again. There is Larry Boa.
fierce competitor.
Mathis got a breaking ball, but he hooks it foul. Just a bit early, but he was on it.
Jeff Mathis looking for that first home run. Had a couple of home runs last year. Hit 5 in 2013. It's tough when you think about injuries. When a guy sustains, as Mathis did early in the year, an injury, I think it's tough to come back from that. You come back, you can play, but you've done all this preparation in the offseason to get ready for spring training. You get yourself ready for spring training. Everything's in order, and then all of a sudden you have that early season injury.
As well, it's got to be tough coming back in Mathis' case and not being a full-time player.
Come back as a full-time player, you know you're going to get your reps, you're going to get your games, you're going to get your ABs.
This has been a long AB, both with the throws to first to try to get Echeverria and the foul balls. Etch is running, pitch is down, the throw is late. Now Mathis will have a shot at tying this game.
Stolen base number 7 for Etch. Pretty good percentage this year. He's only been caught twice.
Aaron Nola, 63 pitches. Mathis pops this one. Hernandez makes the catch, and Miami strands a runner. Through 5, 1-0 Phils. Adam Conley into the 6th inning, 1-0. Phillies on top. The 4-gamer with the Pirates starts tomorrow night, and it ends on Thursday night at 7:10. Seniors 55 and older. Free tickets on a senior free ticket Thursday presented by Wellmax Medical Centers. Or you can visit your local South Florida Subway restaurant and get a coupon for a $5 ticket. Marlins.com for more info. Andrew McCutchen coming back to his home state.
He'll bring a few people down here to Miami from Central Florida. Guy they call Kutch. All you have to do in Pittsburgh is just say Kutch. They know who you mean.
Well, the first pitch to Ruff is outside. The first few years he was in Pittsburgh, everyone thought he was Larry Fitzgerald.
He changed his look, though, this year.
Line left center. Dietrich dives, and he got it. Derek Dietrich. New to left field, but was on it. Good jump. Stuck the landing and held the ball.
If you have some athletic ability and you put in the time, Derek Dietrich's going to be an okay outfielder. That's all you want. And he has the athletic ability. He's willing to work. And he puts that one away. Nicely done.
Darnell Sweeney fouls a pitch back. Sweeney has walked twice. The home run he hit last night, 433 feet. It's one thing Sweeney has done in the minor leagues. He has walked. His on-base percentage, 361. Adam Conley trying to get through 6. Sits at 98 pitches. And he strikes out Sweeney. This is a rather significant hurdle to get over if you're Adam Conley, because the second, the third, and the fourth, all major stress innings.
Tell you what, he has thrown the last 2 innings probably the best he's thrown in this game, with the exception of the 1-2-3 first inning. But yeah, great learning experience for Adam Conley here today.
And I think if he gets this out and walks out of here and it's 1-0, he's got to be a shot of confidence.
Absolutely.
You mentioned Jeff Mathis working with him in this start. Be interesting to hear Conley talk about Mathis and his influence on getting through the second, third, and fourth.
Yeah, it's interesting the differences in these 2 pitchers today. Washington State for Conley, not the glowing numbers that Nola had at LSU.
That's a good live fastball. That's 2-2. Yeah, but Conley, once he got to the minor leagues, really blossomed.
His fastball has been livelier the last couple of innings.
Buries that changeup to Freddie Galvis. If Dan Jennings gets 6 out of Conley with just a run, he has to be very, very pleased. 3-2, a tapper to third. Prado bare hands and makes a heck of a play. That's a really nice play from a very good Major League third baseman. Martin Prado, and Adam Conley gets over the hurdles. How about that? 6 innings for Conley, just a run. 1-0 Phils. 1-0. Phillies on top, bottom 6. Marlins Fan Express will zoom right out of there. Look at that. Right out of Fort Lauderdale. Comes screaming down the freeway. It'll pick you up at your house.
Not just screaming down that express lane. It's closed every night.
Well, check Google Maps. It's a great way to find out what the traffic's doing. But the Fan Express is certainly a great way to come to the ballpark. Friends, family, co-workers. Ichiro pinch hits. Pulls a ground ball, rough to the bag. So Adam Conley's day is done. Miami's lefty starter goes 6, gives up just 3 hits, a run, walked 4, struck out 5. Aaron Nola pitching into the bottom of the 6th.
Well, I'm sure Chuck Hernandez is extremely proud of the outing that Adam Conley had today.
Now D. Gordon. 0 for 2 is Gordon. His average at 334. Paul Goldschmidt at 0 for 2 so far. He sits at 330. Chris Narveson in Miami's bullpen. There's a roller into center field. That's a base hit.
One thing that D's been able to do, even some games that, he's maybe come up a little short. He's been having good at bats and hitting the ball well, and gets that one just in the right spot, up that average a little bit more. We were talking earlier about his brother Nick being drafted same year as Aaron Nola. Checking Nick Gordon's numbers in the Midwest League: 19 doubles, 5 triples, 273 average.
Which is a big improvement on his start. He did not get off to a great start. He struggled early parts of this year.
Yeah, he got texts and phone calls from Dad and from D.
D. Gordon obviously a threat to run. Marlins 1 for 2 in stolen bases in this one. Gordon runs, pitch out, throw to second, and he's out. And Gordon holding that left wrist. He's got a guard on it. But he did something.
He's got to try to protect that thumb. It was a pitch out, so the Phillies guessed right. And the tag applied by the shortstop, Freddie Galvis.
Yeah, the tag right on the forearm. Gordon still has not left the field. He's still just arriving. Prado. Boy, Galvis has gotten to everything today. And that's it for the Fish in the 6th. Good to see D. Gordon out. He's been manipulating that thumb, but he'll stay in the ball game. And so Gordon with a base hit today. But Miami's down right now, 1-0. All right, here is that T-Mobile Data Strong fan photo. What do we got? Brought to you by T-Mobile. Judy. Judy, our Data Strong fan photo.
That's a sweet photo there. Nice conversation. They're at the ballpark. Guy with his D-Train hat.
Did you wear one of those too, Tommy Hutton?
I did not. I did not.
Cameron Rupp. Aaron Nola. And Cesar Hernandez. Nola's got 73 pitches. Chris Narveson. This is in. Narveson has filled the role for Miami of long man. That one hit a long way down the right field line. And it hits the foul pole. It's a homer. Wow. Cameron Rupp. It takes a strong man to hit a ball that high up and bounce it off the foul pole. Rupp gets his 5th home run.
Well, he is a strong man, so he does have that capability. Watching it, you just kept thinking it was going to go foul.
Solo homers have really hurt the Marlins in this series. Phillies had 3 solo homers late in last night's ball game to win it 4-2. Rupp makes it 2-0 here in the 7th. And Narveson, good sharp breaking ball. Strikes out Aaron Nola. Cesar Hernandez, Andres Blanco coming up in baseball this afternoon. Cubs off to another quick start. 3-0 over Atlanta in the 2nd. Dexter Fowler led off the ball game with a homer. Chris Bryant, a 2-run shot.
Bryant, his 18th of the year.
The Cubs, along with the Pirates, lots of momentum in the Central. Cubs 6.5 behind St. Louis. Pirates 3.5 back. Pirates are home tonight against the Giants, and then here tomorrow night against the Marlins. Gillespie there makes the catch. 2 outs. And here comes Andres Blanco. Cardinals play the Padres. Ted Leitner's Padres in San Diego. 4:10 start.
They were my Padres for Ted Leitner last night. An 8-0 San Diego win.
I would listen to a lot of that game on the way home.
That guy Amarista, a couple of hits, RBI.
Ted and Bob Scanlon on the call.
How about the other night, it's about a week ago, maybe less, that Melvin Upton, when the Padres were playing Atlanta, Melvin Upton hit 2 home runs against the Braves, his former team.
Well, remember the Braves had a similar episode when Dan Uggla came back as a National and had, I think, a game-winning homer in Atlanta this year. Narveson dials up a fastball for a strike. Brian Ellington. Another hit for Andres Blanco, who has 2 in this ball game, 7 total in the series.
Yeah, think about it too. Andres Blanco is a guy who signed back in 2000 by the Kansas City Royals. Signed as a teenager out of Venezuela. A lot of minor league games, close to 800 games in the minor leagues. All of a sudden he's found his way and got a chance to play a little bit for Pete Buchanan.
It's amazing too, in 2012 he had just 235 in AAA. Didn't play in 2013. He missed a full season with shoulder surgery. Dan Jennings coming out, and that'll be it for Narveson. Touch for a run on the homer by Rupp. Kendall Toyota called to the bullpen. The Phillies on top. Chris Narveson starts the inning. Brian Ellington coming in, and our Toyota trend. Phillies haven't won a series here since May 2013. Marlins lead the series here at Marlins Park. Marlins Park opening in 2012.
About 5-7 against the Phillies this year. Good numbers for Brian Ellington and the opportunities he's been given.
Gets a strike on Altair. You think your high school has a cool name? Aaron Altair's high school. Agua Fria in Arizona.
Now the cold waters.
Pride of Agua Fria High School. He was a 9th round pick in 2009. Got to the Phillies last year for 5 at-bats. Got a Juan Pierre jersey and a souvenir.
It's a good day at the ballpark.
Altera, sacrifice fly in the third. It's popped out, bounced out. That section's been busy. Had two of them. See, now that's where you need to send it in. That should be the fan photo of the game, right?
Yeah, foul ball.
2 foul balls, same 2 rows.
Got the cool T-shirt.
Well, no swing and not a called strike either.
Pretty close if it missed. It missed by much. Could have been called on a swing, too.
Just out. I mean, narrowly out. That is strike 3 called. So Brian Ellington quiets down the Phillies in the 7th after a homer by Cameron Rupp. 7th inning stretch. Marlins trying to wake up the bats. Down 2-0.
Not a lot of scoring in this one, Rich, but a sac fly in the 3rd inning off the bat of Aaron Altair gave the Phillies a 1-0 lead. 7th inning, a home run that you thought might go foul, but Cameron Rupp just hit that foul pole home run number 5 on the year. It's been terrific pitching by the young right-hander Aaron Nola. He has been outstanding in this one. A kid out of LSU, just 22 years old, making his 7th major league start, has been on the money all day. He's given up just 3 singles. Adam Conley had a nice ball game. He really struggled for 2-3 innings, had to work, had some stressful innings, but managed to make some key pitches when he needed. And he finished very strong. The last 2 innings he pitched, he had 1, 2, 3 innings.
So there's your line score. 5 hits for the Phils, just 3 hits for the Marlins. What the heck has happened to the Marlin bats? In their last 3 games, this one included, the Marlins have a total of 3 runs and 14 hits. And those are the 2 foul balls that gentleman got in the same at bat, the Aaron Altair at bat. But the Marlins, you go back to that nice run where they'd won 7 of 10, and that was just 3 games ago. The Fish were hitting over 300 and scoring over 7 runs a game.
And they've run into a young right-hander. And the other thing about Aaron Nola, to this point, Nola's thrown just 73 pitches.
For Nola, his longest outing in the big leagues, 7 2/3, end of July against the Cubs at Wrigley.
Yeah, the Marlins, Rich, had that stretch, had a 5-game stretch where they scored 37 runs.
Luis Garcia in the Phillies bullpen. Derek Dietrich, Justin Bour, Marcell Ozuna. Nola has lived up to everything in his scouting report. Really good command. As you pointed out in the Bob McClure scouting report, he gets it. It seems like he really understands pitching. His stuff doesn't just blow you away or blow up the radar gun. Just 3 strikeouts in the ballgame.
Another young pitcher the Marlins didn't see in this series. I'm sure we'll see him before the season ends. 25-year-old left-hander Adam Morgan.
There's strikeout number 4. Low breaking ball that Dietrich chases. And here comes Bour.
So the Phillies getting a good look at Nola. Morgan on the year in 10 starts is 4-4. Nice, easy, smooth delivery. Curveballs, sliders.
Now Bour is flied out twice. All 3 Miami hits singles.
There's a changeup. We'll mix that in. And as you notice, you look at his fastball, it's upper 80s, get into the low 90s. You know, you think about it, a right-handed Adam Conley.
Two outs here in the 7th. Wednesday, Pirates Marlins, a Chevron Crazy 8 Wednesday. Bring your Chevron receipt. 8 gallons of gas or more to the Marlins Heart Ticket Office. Get your choice of an $18 Lexus Legends level ticket or $28 home plate box ticket. Ask the question when it's happened to the Marlin bats. They could use those 2 bats. Christian Yelich and Giancarlo Stanton. Gordon and Stanton looking at that thumb. Stanton imparting his hand surgery wisdom.
D. Gordon saying the hamate bone connected to the. Yeah, don't worry about it. You don't need it.
If you just joined us, D. Gordon on a stolen base attempt, sliding into second base, appeared to do something to his thumb. He's not come out of the ball game, and he's looked fine since then. Ozuna strikes out. Tell you what, Aaron Nola's looked better than fine. He's been outstanding. 2-0 Phils. Phillies into Miami's bullpen after 6 innings of Adam Conley, who gave up a run. Chris Narveson, in 2/3 of an inning, gave up the other run, a solo homer to Cameron Rupp. Jeff Rancour, Darren Ruff, Darnell Sweeney.
You know, we've talked about Jeff Rancour offensively. Jeff Rancour, the active major league leader in assists as an outfielder. Always had that cannon, still does, in right field.
Would like to see at an all-star type event a skills throw-off between Francoeur and Bryce Harper. You know, get a moving target.
Be nice to see a skills type competition.
Could you add what, a bunting competition?
You could. I don't know if it would attract as much attention as the home run hitting contest.
No. Marketability might be an issue. Rancour does not get cheated, nor does he take a lot of pitches. Goes after that high fastball.
Now Brian Ellington's come in, struck out the 2 hitters he's faced. Altair and now Francoeur. Good live fastball.
See, in this day and age, Tommy, I think I would go the other direction. I wouldn't, in the all-star skills competition, go with bunting or hit the cutoff man. I would go with best bat flip. Hit a bomb, pop the chain, flip the bat. And then the judges would
give scores,
right,
on the home run trots.
Best bullpen entrance.
Best closer song.
That was a bullet at the feet of Echeverria. He handles it nicely. Aaron Ruff is out.
You were talking about the Cubs with 4 home runs today. Fowler, Bryant, Schwarber, Montero. They hit 4 yesterday. Rizzo, Addison Russell, Soler, and Montero again.
Have heard a few people theorize that the new scoreboard in left is knocking down some of the wind and making it easier to hit home runs in the summer at Wrigley, where home runs usually are pretty plentiful.
Yeah, summertime's always a much better time to hit in Wrigley Field than April and May.
It's right on Sheffield, right? So Gary Nicholas, our director, does not miss a beat. He's looking for a Waveland jersey right now.
That's a tougher one to find.
Darnell Sweeney, a switch hitter, has walked twice and struck out.
Speaking of which, when Juan Pierre sat down with us before we came back from our break, he talked about having watched and heard Gary Sheffield when he was on with us a couple of weeks ago. Good to know that JP checks us out every now and then.
Oh, he does. I'll run into him a couple times a year around Parkland or Boca, and he's up to speed on everything. He watches not only the Marlins but the Heat. Big Heat fan.
Oh, huge Heat fan. AJ Speaks and Jax keep him up with the Heat.
Three-two pitch to Darnell Sweeney. And he walks. Sweeney has walked 3 times. Here comes Galvis, and Sweeney has speed at first.
You would think, too, this would be an opportunity that Pete Buchanan would like to see his youngster in a stealing situation. Get 2 out. Galvis up there. There's a guy who could steal some bases. First base coach for the Phillies, Juan Samuel. He could do a lot of other things, too.
There's Juan Samuel.
Juan Samuel had all those stretches where I want to say 4 or 5 years he averaged double figures, doubles, triples, home runs, stolen bases.
Teammate of yours?
He was a little bit after. I missed Sammy.
What year did he get to Philly?
His first year up was 83. First full year was 84 with Philadelphia. And all he did that year was hit 272, had 191 hits, scored 105 runs, had 36 doubles, 19 triples, 15 home runs.
Wait a minute, 19 triples?
Yeah.
Runner goes, pitches up, Mathis throw perfect. And it's waiting on young Darnell Sweeney. Brian Ellington works a scoreless 8th. Sunday here in Miami. Lots of kids. We'll be running the bases here pretty soon. MLB at bat all season long. Once you get into the postseason, you're going to want this as well. Live baseball on any of your connected devices. Watch at home, in the office, on the go. Live look-ins, real-time highlights. The ever-popular pitch tracking widget. Every umpire in Major League Baseball is implanted with a pitch tracking widget. Or will someday. Cole Gillespie, Danny Echeverria, and then Jeff Mathis scheduled in the bottom of the 8th. 2-0. Phillies on top. Gillespie goes after the first pitch, pops it up. Hernandez makes the catch. Well, if you're Aaron Nola, that's a nice first step to try to get through the 8th, which he's never done in the big leagues. You see 7 1/3, 7 2/3 against the Cubs on the 26th of July.
And when you look back at that game, 92 pitches for Nola in that game at Wrigley. Just to show you the difference, his last time out, a no decision against Toronto in 5 innings, he threw 94 pitches.
He did go 8 innings in the minor leagues on the 10th of May.
Of course, then again, that Toronto lineup, that's a tough one to negotiate through. They knocked around young Andrew Heaney last night at Angel Stadium. 3 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 8 runs. And the guy who might win the MVP in the American League, Josh Donaldson, 4 for 6 with 6 RBIs and a home run in that game.
Wasn't a great night for young ex-Marlin pitchers. Anthony DeSclafani got knocked around a bit in Cincinnati. He's been really good this year. Echeverria takes in. Miami has a base runner. You would expect Nola's working on a pretty short leash with both the pitch count at 91 and the score at 2-0. Mathis and then McGee.
Well, you look at these matchups. Pete McCannon looking over at the Marlins bench. Ichiro's been used, so just righties available. So he can extend Nola a little bit, or he knows that Casey McGee's on deck, another right-handed bat.
Look, Nola in and Mathis out. Counts 1-1. We saw Adam Conley go 6 innings. He had an armful of stressful innings in the ballgame, the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th. None at all for Aaron Nola. And his biggest hurdle right now is just trying to finish the race, finish this inning. And 94 pitches. You got a Mathis got a break on that. You saw pitch number 3. There's Bob McClure, his pitching coach. Pete McCannon, skipper.
They have to be pleased at the outing of Aaron Nola today.
But they also have to be a little concerned here because Nola in walking Echeverria has fallen behind Mathis. He's starting to dig a bit of a hole. If it gets any deeper, he probably won't be allowed to try to get out of it himself.
Well, he's also getting to that point. All organizations keep track of innings, and with his minor league innings and what he's done up here, he's crossed over that 150 innings point right now.
Mathis pops that 3-1 pitch into left. Altair makes a catch.
And remember, Nola had 12 starts in Double-A, 6 starts in Triple-A, and this is his 7th start with the Phillies.
I just find it fascinating that his brother, Austin, they both grew up together in Baton Rouge. They went to LSU. There's Casey McGee to get the at-bat. His brother, Austin, and I don't know this for sure if New Orleans has the player names on the back of the jerseys. You suspect they do. And I'm not sure if they've got the abbreviation for New Orleans on the front, but if they do, they could have he could have Nola on the back and Nola on the front. There's a look at the older brother.
Brotherly love there. And we see Austin a little bit in spring training. Sounded like Casey McGee was asking for time. He didn't get it. Thought I heard somebody say time. That was probably Casey asking for it. He didn't get it. Yeah, right there. How about the year they would have been together at LSU on their jerseys? You couldn't have A. Nola. You'd have to have A.A. Nola and A.U. Nola.
And we have confirmed through the wonder of the internet that New Orleans does have a jersey. It looks like a road jersey, a navy with Nola on the front.
So it would be Nola on the front and Nola on the back. For his older brother, Austin.
1-2 to McGee. Down goes McGee, and Aaron Nola, for the first time in the big leagues, has gone 8 innings. And the Phillies are shutting out Miami. Florida Honda dealer. Up the river you go. Aaron Nola has been splendid through 8, a 3-hit shutout. Phillies bullpen is in motion. Marlins bullpen as well. And Kyle Bearclaw comes in. Takes over for Brian Ellington.
A couple of guys that are certainly intriguing when you think about next year and you start to piece together a bullpen, and that's Ellington and Bearclaw. These both certainly have good stuff. In a short amount of time, they've both done a good job.
Freddie Galvis started out with a sharp breaking ball. Galvis, Cameron Rupp, pitcher's spot. Ken Giles getting ready. Bearclaw goes out with a count 1-2. Washington is out to a big lead, 9-3 now in the 6th inning. The Nationals putting a lot of runs up on the board. Wilson Ramos and Anthony Rendon have home runs. Bryce Harper has a couple of doubles.
That is one of the areas we were talking about the Nationals the other night. When you look at their lineup and people go, well, what's wrong with the Nationals? You see Worth at 200, Rendon only at 250, Zimmerman at 221, Desmond 229, Ramos 234. So the only guy really having an outstanding year, wow, that's outstanding, is Harper.
Justin Bour up to get it.
Justin Bour telling D. Gordon, hey, look, I can leap a little bit too.
A little bit. Let's see what kind of hops. Ah, he got up.
All right.
He got up as high as he needed to get.
Just right.
Hey, Gordon,
you know they're talking about that too.
Oh, without a doubt. Bearclaw throws a strike. That Cubs lead is 7-0 over Atlanta, bottom 4. The Dodgers behind Clayton Kershaw, 2-0 lead in Houston, bottom 6. Yankees are losing 3-1 to the Indians. The team right behind them.
I think CC Sabathia had to come out of that game.
Sore knee. Prado goes to get the big hop, gets the out over at first. Well, the Marlins will have the top of their order: D. Gordon, Martin Prado, Derek Dietrich. And it looks like they'll be facing Ken Giles, who is ready in the pen. Odubel Herrera. See that slugging percentage at .424. Herrera's had a real nice year. Kind of an under the radar guy. He didn't come out with huge numbers, but the more you see him play, Tommy, the more you're thinking this was a nice pickup, a Rule 5 pickup from the Rangers. .25 doubles. Ball and 2 strikes. Phillies poised to win this series. Marlins have one last chance in the bottom of the 9th. And Herrera nearly gets clipped. Toronto is in Anaheim. Take on the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. And the Yankees a 1-0 lead over Cleveland. Or excuse me, 3-1 Cleveland now in the 7th. That'll be an interesting race as well. That one almost got, wow, Will Little, the second base umpire.
Not sure if Joe West gets out of the way of that one.
No, Joe West takes the charge on that.
Good footwork by Will Little. Ball well hit. There's Little. Not sure if it may have clipped him a little bit. Hard to tell. No, maybe not.
By rule, any ball that hits an umpire is a live ball.
No, Bearclaw has an easy fastball. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't put a lot of effort. And the ball just explodes out of his hand.
Ball and a strike. Pirates and Marlins tomorrow night. Jay Happ, former Philly, gets the start for the Pirates. Tom Kohler for Miami. Marlins will see Charlie Morton, Jeff Locke, the lefty, and Garrett Cole, who's having a superb season. It's a 4-game series. It starts tomorrow night.
So a couple of lefties in that series. The Marlins will see.
Then the Marlins will dive back into the East. They're headed to Washington, D.C., then to Atlanta. Runner goes. Strike 3 call. Outside corner. Miami down to their last 3 outs, but they got their speedster coming up. D. Gordon, Martin Prado, Derek Dietrich due up. 2-0 Phils. 2-0 lead. Checkers brings you Marlins live right after the ball game. They'll fire it up out there, get the lights going. Aaron Nola, as advertised. All of a sudden, for the last 3 ball games, Miami can't score. Just 3 runs and 14 hits over the last 3 games. And here is Giles to face Gordon, who's 1 for 3. Phillies also keep Odubel Herrera in the ballgame. And Gordon takes a strike.
D. Gordon did not see Giles last night.
Giles is not a finesse guy who messes around. Ball in the dirt, swing and a miss. And Gordon is out at first. And that was quick, 3 pitches. Giles dispatches D. Gordon.
We got 2 fastballs, and then he just went way out of the zone and got him to chase his slider.
Aaron Nola's line, 8 innings, 3 hits, and no runs. Struck out 6. Here's Prado now, who has singled and bounced to short twice. Giles has been perfect since assuming the closer role after the Papelbon trade. And he can be overpowering.
I remember going into Philadelphia last year and the Phillies talking about Giles, who at that time was working the 8th inning with Papelbon there, and all the talk was, well, he's the heir apparent.
Prado to center. Herrera camped out there, and he makes the catch. Well, since he walked in the big leagues, Giles, and this was mid-June of last year, his ERA is 1.44. You see the strikeouts in relief, trailing only Aroldis Chapman. Well, Marlins need Derek Dietrich to do something, try to get Bohr to the plate. Down to their last out.
Yeah, one thing Derek Dietrich has done so well is get on base. And this is an opportunity for him just to try to do that.
Dietrich floats one out into left center, and it is caught. The game is over. Galvis secures it, and the Phillies win the series. They take a 4-gamer, winning 3 of the last 3, and they take 3 of 4.